This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What if there was an easier way to give therapy a try that didn't involve spending hours looking for a provider or a long drive to and from appointments? BetterHelp offers affordable online therapy on your schedule by chat, phone, and video call, so you can do therapy your way. Visit betterhelp.com/allies to learn more.
Hello, welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'm Daniel Bloodworth, coming to you from Los Angeles, California. This week I am joined by Brad Ellis.
Hi.
Michael Huber.
Yo.
And making it all happen in the control room, we've got Don Casanova.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's a bit of a weird timing. We're shooting this a little early, so Isla's not feeling well right now. Damiani's not available, so and I think Gabby might pop in behind Don a little bit later. Mm-hmm. So a little bit of a shorter crew. We're also shooting the next 2 weeks episodes today, so this might go a little bit quicker than usual. But hey, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
You had the perfect opportunity to say Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew.
It's the best.
Skull and Bones Beta coming up.
Never get to use that term.
I'll pass.
I feel like how many of us are, though? It's not like that much of a skeleton crew.
It's like half.
If it was just me and Brad,
True.
that would be funny.
All right, you're right.
Or if I'm just talking to Don.
Right. I'm sorry, I don't want to take
No, you're
I'm
right.
just sitting here talking to Don. He's changing camera angles.
We're at least missing the skin. We got like the muscle on there, at least.
Some blasphemous shit.
Yeah.
In any case, friends, we're here to talk about some of the biggest headlines in video games this week. E3 is actually dead.
Whoa. Duh.
We got a closer look at Metaphor ReFantazio.
Yay.
It's time for that November sales report.
Sweet.
And we've got Avatar impressions from Huber and Don.
Oh.
It's good stuff. But before we get started, we must answer for the mistakes we made in last week's episode. Don, begin corrections music, please. Boop. All right, this is one that was like, it was just too far out there for me to like try to look it up, and with the time I had. From Zach Wojnar, regarding Jurassic Park Survival being a resurrected project from 2001, that's not really true. The game they're thinking of is a canceled title called Jurassic Park Survivor, which would have been a third-person game with a male lead and vastly different gameplay and aesthetics. I remember being hyped for it. However, it was canceled with little fanfare. While Survival is its own beast, I must admit I got goosebumps when I saw the title revealed. I honestly think it's more of a coincidence than a genuine nod to the canceled game, but it was still cool.
Nice, Zach. Love you, Zach.
There are absolutely amiibo that sell over $90. Solaire is listed over $100.
Oh, he is?
The Mega Yarn Yoshi amiibo is listed over $200.
Yeah.
Who said they weren't?
Some
Kyle.
nutcase.
Oh, Kyle.
Yeah.
QB from Box Boy regularly is tracked at over $500. And Rosalina and Luma is almost $550 right now.
Wow.
So
$550.
Man, Kyle doesn't know anything.
I know. I thought he likes Nintendo.
Yeah, fake fan.
Yeah.
speaking of, Kyle asked why Alan Wake 2 wasn't nominated for Best Action Adventure. It was.
Nice.
Metaphor ReFantazio has not been announced for Game Pass.
Oh, I thought it was. Really? Oh, okay.
Xbox has been putting their little
They have the
stinger
marketing
there,
on
but
it,
yeah,
yeah.
they have. It's not on Game
Maybe
Pass,
I just
so.
thought Blood because like every Sega game coming out, they were like
Right.
day one, and all the Persona games recently, like Royal 3 and 4 were
Yeah.
Tactica.
But I think this is because it's a like brand new
Brand new
major
big
game. It's like
deal,
no,
dude.
we're not gonna do that with this.
What's to do with Blade? Is that Xbox exclusive?
We don't know yet.
We don't
still
know.
don't know?
Nothing is confirmed.
That's
yet.
so weird.
I'm
No-
going to
no
assume it
telling.
is. Yeah, but no way to know yet.
Huber, you wrote down, quote, "You are not alone," as one of the game titles for a martial arts-based RPG.
Yeah.
The titles for that trailer were way confusing. I had to actually go back and look for it.
Okay.
That game's actual title is The Matchless Kung Fu,
Matchless. That's a cool title.
which was like the first thing that you saw.
Oh.
But it was just like
Oh, and then at the end, it's like you are not alone.
all the titles
It's
looked
like
exactly the same in the trailer.
Easy
so it's
mistake
like,
then.
how do you know what the name of the game is?
Chill.
If you have a correction, leave it in the YouTube comments on either the public version or the patron version of this episode. Start with the word correction so I can find it in search, and leave a timestamp so I know what the heck we were talking about. End corrections music.
Boop.
All right. I didn't put a lot of notes on this one because there are a lot of things to do, and we've talked about this all year long. But E3 is dead.
Dead.
Officially. Forever. The
Van Helsing drew a stake in the heart. Just boom.
The note they put out there on Twitter was formatted like it was a haiku or something. It's hilarious. It was like a 3-line thing, but it was one sentence. After more than 2 decades of E3, each one bigger than the last, the time has come to say goodbye.
That is some Jin Sakai.
Yeah.
Thanks for the memories.
That's interesting. Huh.
Also, I got a fact check on that. Each one bigger than the last. No, 2007 was a deliberate downgrade.
Yeah.
The 2021 digital whatever nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not bigger than the last.
Yeah. Was that the last one? 2021?
Yeah.
Ugh. Not a good way to go out. Damn. You know, Huber, I'm hoping E3 is kind of like Dracula, and it'll just kind of come back every now and then.
Rises from the ashes.
Maybe not 100 years, hopefully, but maybe like 5,
That'd
4.
be sick.
Reborn.
Yeah. Or someone does something like Keeley or something.
I mean, Summer Game Fest is definitely
Summer
on
Game
the
Fest
rise.
is taking
Yeah.
that slot for sure.
But just I can't.
It's different.
It
but
could happen, but I just can't envision Summer Game Fest ever being as big as E3 was in terms of like size.
Sure.
You know, because
I think in terms of in person, I
Yeah,
don't think
the
it
in-person
will.
vibe, exactly.
And I don't think they want it to be.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the problems of E3.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
it got too big.
that's what I
in
miss.
person.
Well, I think with E3, it was like, for us, it was just harder a job when the public was there. Like,
Yeah.
I got no problem with the public being there. It's totally fine. I just wish they had a press day or something.
But it was
that
like even before the public was there were a lot of issues with like, you
People
know,
sneaking in?
booths like trying to like blast each other out, and like you're trying to do a preview on the show floor, and like you
Oh,
can't
yeah, that's true.
get through it because like System of a Down is coming from the Activision booth or whatever.
That's
and
true.
you're
That's fair,
You're like
yeah.
inches from each other's face and screaming at each other.
Yeah, that's true. Good, fair point.
It wasn't perfect.
No, it wasn't perfect, but
had
it was
some
it
warts.
was magical.
It was
But
very magical.
It had ups and downs. We certainly had our issues with it. Trying to just get in there all the time. Like I would get in one day, and then the next day they're like, "No, you can't come in."
Oh,
Just be
yeah,
like,
the last couple of
Yeah.
years, but that went along with the public stuff.
yeah,
it got
was
weird.
it was a nightmare.
It used to be back in the day, you would just like fax them your business license and you got
Yeah.
in. It was like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just miss it because it had. There was no vibe like it. Like
No.
even like the Game Awards or the Game Awards is like not
Summer
really
Game
like
Fest, or-
no, the Game Awards
Okay.
is like faux E3 because it's like kind of about the awards, but it's not. But then and then you got all these ads and everything, and then Summer Game Fest just feels like so exclusive to such a small amount of people right now.
Yeah.
Whereas E3 was just straight up. We are all here. We are all just hyped about games. Everyone is here. Like there's nothing. I
Well,
mean, there's like Gamescom and
At least
TGS, but
At least with Summer Game Fest, Keeley like has his show too or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, his like hour and a half show or whatever it is. So it's something. Maybe if the big boys get in that more,
yeah.
you'd still get that vibe. But yeah,
Now that E3 is officially dead,
yeah, now that
maybe
it's like
it'll
actually
push.
dead.
Yeah.
But also it's like everyone does their own thing now.
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't really need
But
it.
I think that's the thing though. Is,
Everyone does their own thing, but I loved when everyone was
Yeah,
like
it was cool. It was really fun.
together. You
but
know.
that's the thing though. That's what I wonder though is like if we could at least get back to a place where everyone is having press conferences in the same week, it might not like really feel that different, right?
Yeah.
because that's the thing that we're sort of missing, and it's like okay, Xbox happened after Summer Game Fest by like 2 days. And so it was really weird because
wasn't
it's like
Sony before it also? I can't remember when Sony's was.
yeah, everyone used to be before.
No,
E3.
but I thought it was before Summer Game Fest.
Oh,
or
you
something.
mean when their state of play thing
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Yeah, I want
remember
to
the
say
exact
they were
date.
like the week before or
Yeah.
something like that. Nintendo was definitely after. But that's the thing, they were like sort of scattershot.
can't-
Ubisoft did a real press conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't imagine them ever needing to talk to each other about having those on like the same week if it's not under one big unified thing. Like I can't imagine Ubisoft being like, "Hey, we're going to do a Direct, Microsoft. Do you want to do
But
yours
that's the
this
thing, though,
week
it's like
too?"
Summer Game like E3, those things were never at E3, right? Like those things are always
Technically,
in their own space. Like Xbox would have their own little like
Microsoft
demo
Theater
booth
and all
like that you go to afterwards, and then
Mm-hmm.
the show floor would open a couple of days later, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying like I think that sort of scheduling could still end up happening eventually if everyone gets on board. But I just don't know what Summer Game Fest looks like if it gets any bigger. Like you remember this year, like Ubisoft was even too big to fit in the Summer Game Fest campus.
Yeah.
You know, they had their own thing, you know, a couple blocks away.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff just needs a bigger space, I guess, if he wants it to get bigger.
Yeah. Or if there's even one other publisher, really.
Yeah.
The way it was.
Yeah, if like Microsoft's there or something.
Yeah,
next
Microsoft
year.
is there, then it's like, okay, they would have taken over half of that campus.
Yeah.
But I really do like the vibes that they have going on.
Yeah,
I just
liked
don't
it.
know how you preserve that sense of, you know, closeness with everything and also, you know, let more people attend.
Yeah, you're going to lose some of that no matter what, but
Yeah.
just depends how much, I guess. I don't know. I'm all for him like expanding it and just seeing. Maybe just go a little slower or something like that. Maybe just not gigantic immediately.
Yeah. Blood, what's your favorite E3 memory, man? You've been to like 20 of those things.
Right. Yeah.
My
it's-
favorite is you interviewing Snoop Dogg, for sure.
Your favorite E3
That's-
memory?
yeah.
The whole time? Not Shenmue?
No, favorite Blood or
Oh,
moment.
blood. Okay.
Picking favorites is so hard. It was funny because, we were just like reminded of like the old like Comfort Inn days when like all of Planet GameCube would come to town and they would all be like in this like dodgy Comfort Inns like right outside of downtown, and like they would all just pile
the
in my van to
outskirts.
go to the convention center. And then but then we would like, you know, like go back to the hotel room and we were like looking through like Nintendo B-roll and stuff like that and see stuff that like that wasn't like really even at the press conference.
Sick.
And yeah, going to those press conferences back in the day, going to I think like the thing about old E3 that I miss was just like that you could totally have missed things and not have known about them until they were on the floor. Until
Yeah.
somebody just told you, like, hey, dude, check out Shadow of the Colossus. It's crazy. It's like the whole game is all boss fights. And it's like, you know. And
That is awesome.
yeah. It's like, just to not know about those things because
Yeah.
if you weren't at a Sony press conference, you found out about it by like reading somebody's text write-up about it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of photos. You know, like none of that stuff was broadcast
Now we
anywhere.
have Dungeon Finder, dude. You just like click
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know, cue it in. It's like, oh, you know,
grouped
about
up, yeah.
Back in the day, Blood had to like go to the dungeon,
Had
had to wait outside.
Yeah.
LFG Shadow of the Colossus.
Dude, like that first year when Reggie introduced himself, I'm just like, what is going on here? This dude is wild. And then one of those years too with the Nintendo press conference, there was the thing. What was funny is like I think in hindsight, it wasn't even related to Nintendo, but we all interpreted it as it was. But remember the Wii code name was
Revolution.
was the Revolution.
Yeah.
Revolution.
Yeah. And we didn't even know what the heck the thing was. We
Yeah.
just knew it was called the Revolution.
Yeah.
And there was a billboard, just
Was
like,
Dolphin
like a
GameCube?
marquee. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just like a marquee sign or whatever up on the corner on Hollywood Boulevard that says, "The revolution is around the corner."
Whoa. That's hype, dude. Wow.
That is
so
good.
hyped. And I don't think it actually had anything to do with Nintendo.
That's funny.
Blood's just wandering all the alleys around the corner from that
Yeah,
billboard,
yep.
seeking it out.
Back alley dice game.
Yeah.
Blood.
Like a little demo booth in a back alley.
There was a revolution. We hype. Jeez.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah. What else was there? The
Come on, Twilight Princess blood.
Twilight Princess was amazing.
Were you there?
He was
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
there.
he was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I actually
That's
have that
hype.
moment like on a freaking
That-
mini tape.
A mini tape.
You know those little recorders, or like the
Yeah.
old journalist recorders?
Did you stand up?
No, I don't think I did.
Boo! You should have stand up and applaud.
But you-
I don't know that there
clapped
were a lot
for
of
it.
people standing up.
Did you
There's
clap
a lot of
for
people
it?
shouting and
Oh,
stuff,
he
yeah.
clapped 100%.
Did you? Do you remember like the noise you made?
I don't. I think it was like there's a part of me like for me personally, it was just kind of like stunned.
Stunned.
Because when we first, because at that time, like we just thought that like, oh, Wind Waker is what Zelda's going to look like now.
Yeah.
And so when I first started seeing that footage, I was just like, is this Fire Emblem? Like,
Is
what am I looking
Castlevania?
at?
Like, what's going on here?
Right. So, yeah, it took a couple shots to be like, oh crap, this is Zelda, and it looks like Lord of the Rings. Dude. Just didn't think Nintendo was ever going to do something like that. Sick. Yeah, interviewing one of the like technical designers of the Game Boy Player was crazy. Just like, yeah, the years when like Xbox and PlayStation were like side by side.
Oh, the classic shot.
Yeah.
The classic.
Like a hallway.
You can Google that now. You'll find so many of those. It's so good.
Yeah.
Showdown.
But it was like there were years when Xbox was in the other hall. You know, and there were and then there were the years after when Xbox like decided like, oh, we're going over to our own theater now because it's the Microsoft theater. So we'll just do all our demos over there and people can come and go.
Yeah.
But that got screwed up by the public thing because then you had to go through security and metal detectors and stuff to just get in the building.
Yeah. Shout out to Isla and Don reviewing Carpet.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
10 out of 10.
Shout out to Huber startling Warren Spector. Making him very nervous.
Yeah. No, I had
about that.
I had a great interview with Warren Spector one year for Epic Mickey.
Oh, the interview was
Holy
great with Huber. That was awesome.
I like aggressively walked towards him like Jason Voorhees. I'm like, Warren! Yeah.
Those
yelling at him.
Those years when
I was hyped.
there would just be some random developer that would like have a laptop and like sit on the floor in the hallway and like check out We Happy Few or Children of Mortar or something.
You and me just talked with some guy from Inti Creates. He like
Oh,
showed
yeah.
us something on like on a handheld or something in a hallway.
Yep.
I was like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then one of the first times I had personally met Shuhei, I was like waiting in line for like the demo for The Last Guardian or something like that. And then it's like someone came over to get me and it's like, oh, hey, like Shuhei wants to meet you. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was so confused.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
And then like it's like, you know, because it was because of the musical.
Yeah.
The Bloodborne musical. That's funny.
Sick.
So those guys
I think my favorite.
periodically still ask us if we're going to do another musical for a PlayStation game.
Honestly, my favorite thing I've ever done is Huber hype on the show floor
Yeah.
because of just being able to just go up to anyone and just like getting the hype, you know?
Yeah, it was fun.
Like an opportunity to just like share the love. Like there are so few opportunities to do that in this industry. And E3 was just the place where you could go up to anyone at any demo and be like, yo, how are you feeling about this? Give me your thoughts. Just like loving embrace with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just I miss that
Yeah.
like more than anything. So 10 out of 10 if you were ever on those episodes.
Dude, my favorite E3 memory wasn't even on the floor. It was Final Fantasy VII Remake and Shenmue 3.
Oh, of course.
Getting to see Mike cry because of Shenmue was so awesome, man. Because we got like the 1-2 punch. We got like my dream, then we got your dream back to back. It was
Back-to-back
insane.
dreams. Back-to-back dreams.
Yeah, it was insane.
Was there one other thing like right before or after that? It was like the triple threat. Even.
Yeah, there was something.
I can't remember
I think
what it was.
Last Guardian comes
Oh, the
back.
Last
Last
Guardian.
Guardian,
Yeah, the
that-
cherry on top.
That is
Last Guardian. Yeah, that
insane.
was insane.
That is like a once in a lifetime moment.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Dude, we're getting Rebirth next year. Think about how
know.
long ago
Yeah, that was a while ago.
that
2015.
E3 was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The promise has been made.
Part
has
2
been
is
made.
coming
Yeah,
out
part
now.
2.
That is nuts.
Yeah. I loved seeing Sekiro in a hotel room. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
That sounds illicit.
It was cool. Blood hooked it up.
Awesome.
Then when we saw...
Did you Makiri counter in the hotel
I didn't get
room
to
or
play.
probably
No,
not?
we
Okay,
weren't
okay.
allowed to play at that
Okay.
time. Remember when we were leaving E3 one time and Miyazaki walked by?
I remember this.
And you're like, yo, we got to do it.
I was like, you gotta go. You gotta go. I was like, charge him, dude. Charge him.
Yeah, we got
It's like-
handshakes with Miyazaki. It was awesome. We had to do it. Yeah. That was so sick. And of course, playing Zelda was awesome with Damiani and Kyle. And seeing Damiani just blitz past everyone
Yeah.
once the doors open and left me and Kyle in the dust, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I went to.
That stampede to the Nintendo
Yeah.
booth every year was real.
I feel like I went to like 6 E3s.
Yeah, probably.
About 0 times Nintendo press booth.
Oh right.
I don't think I ever got it
Never
either.
got in
No.
there. Never
Yeah,
really
because
did
by
Nintendo
the
because it
time-
was just Damiani
It was covered.
and Bloodworth
Had it covered.
had it on lock.
We had other stuff on.
Well,
Yeah, we
and
had
then-
PlayStation
Yeah, but
and
that's the other thing too
Xbox,
was
like-
again by the time you guys started coming, it was like E3 was beyond walking
Yeah.
up to things and playing games.
Yeah.
for the most part. I think you probably like your first couple of years, like there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff in the Sony booths you could still walk up and
Yep.
play.
Yep.
But
Yakuza.
Nintendo had a lot of lines by then, and so like even when me and Damiani went, it's like we went, you know, because we had an appointment, and so we could just go upstairs to the business
Yeah.
area, and like
Right.
they would set us in front of.
And you work there, so
a
they just
Wii
like
or
let you.
well,
in.
I did have some favors to get me in. 'Cause we like,
cashing in.
because I had Damiani as the actual appointment.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
Letting the mask slip a little.
but they would have a nice setup there towards.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they would just
I
have
bet.
everything on one unit.
Oh, that's nice.
So like you
That's
would
clean.
just pick which games you wanted to play, and you
That's
didn't have
really
to
clean.
move. Yeah,
That's
so.
nice. I remember Sony press room was nice too. I don't know if I ever
Yeah, the
went
back,
to.
the
Good
behind
carpet.
the behind the scenes Sony press room.
Yeah,
was pretty
I
cool.
don't know if I ever went to a Microsoft one. I'm not sure. I don't think I did.
Yeah, the way
It might have been
theirs
on the
were
other-
set up were different.
Yeah.
They had meeting rooms that were more set up for like interviews and stuff.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
But a lot of that, a lot of that got weird. Mm-hmm. The Xbox interviews got weird sometimes. Where, like I remember, like I was able to interview some VP at some point, and it was just like it was like one of those most frustrating interviews where like you ask questions, and then somehow like by the time you get to the response and like, did he say anything about what I
Yeah.
asked? It's like,
Max
it's like that's a
PR
completely
training.
Yeah.
opposite marketing bullet point.
Yeah.
Shout out to like the long outside walkway with all the food trucks and the people frantically writing articles while smoking cigarettes out there, just like sucking them down.
Yeah.
And just like people passing, like you could walk down that path and see like
Oh yeah,
everyone. You just like Phil Spencer walks by, like,
yeah, because it was
Cute.
the back. It was the
Yeah.
back way.
the back way.
Yeah, the back way.
Because the main way was the air conditioned hallway.
I went back way every time.
Yeah. Yeah,
did
you could
sometimes.
save time.
If it was hot.
That's one of those things
Or
where
not
like
hot.
you go back way or you go upstairs, you save time.
Oh yeah, upstairs was clutch.
Yeah.
Don, what was the origin of the carpet? Because E3 definitely had a wide variety of elegant carpets.
Oh gosh, I wish I could remember what the or I don't remember what the origin of it was. Were we reviewing something else before that? I think I think it was just, you know what? I'm pretty sure it was just a mandatory update we were doing for E3.
Yeah.
And then as a part of that, yeah, we just started talking about the carpets, and then it took off after that. And I think the next year we actually did the awards. I don't know if we did an award.
Such nice
The
carpets.
awards.
I remember like WB or somebody getting an award and
Yeah.
and receiving it on camera.
It's so good, dude. Everyone's giving like game of the show. We give best carpet, dude. God.
People were genuinely excited and grateful for it. It was so fun.
That's awesome.
But
really funny.
so Huber, you talk about the food trucks, but
Yeah.
predating the food trucks, the best moments of E3 and the freaking city like shoot them away some years too, was you would like take your lunch break, and like you would head outside in
Oh,
front of the
yes.
convention center, and you would get one of those bacon wrapped hot
ladies.
dogs.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! To
LA
just sit
staple.
in the sunlight and eat a bacon wrapped hot
LA
dog
staple.
after being on your feet all day.
Yeah.
Everyone would be hanging out on those lawns. They have like
Yeah.
small strips of lawned areas outside the convention center. You just have people sprawled out between stuff, eating hot
That
dogs,
sounds
taking breaks.
nice.
Such
Yeah.
good vibes.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
It
does
was
sound
like
good.
recharging your full Estes
Yeah.
flask right there. It was just amazing.
Don, dude, thanks for all those Huber hypes, man. That was just the best.
Yeah,
I
that was
gonna-
sick.
Yeah, I
dog.
was gonna say Huber.
Guerrilla
Some of
style.
my, I mean, that's my second favorite memory. My other favorite, I mean, one of my favorite memories, my initial favorite memory of E3 was just when I was younger. I was much younger, and my friend's older brother worked for a unnamed media company. Right, I protect. I'm very loyal, but he got us in. We were just we had no right to be there, so we were some of those people ruining E3, getting in on credentials that we shouldn't have. But we were just kids getting in there, teens, and we got in, and I got to see. It was with Doom 3, I think. was released that year. I'll never forget how unbelievable.
Showpiece.
Yeah, because I grew up my whole life, as a kid, we used to look in EGM, all the
Yeah.
stuff, E3. It was like this dream fantasy place you could go to. And then that was the first time I actually got to go in person.
Yeah.
I think Four Swords Adventure and Doom 3. Like a little
Dude.
kid, I got to cruise around the hall. It was so awesome. But then after that, Huber hypes, man. Like you said, Huber. First of all, the booth experience, just the spectacle of the booths and everything was such an enjoyable thing. Like, I love that kind of like just marketing, like hype to the
Same.
extreme. And then, shooting Huber hype. Being in there, holding that camera, following Huber through this leaving crowd of
insane
intensity,
energy.
never knowing who we're gonna bump into next or talk to next. It was like so friggin' fun, such unbelievably good vibes. Yeah, it was going through our outside walk through that alleyway between halls and everything.
You
And
guys
so,
did have an insane energy.
Yeah.
I would see you guys and I could just feel it.
just be like crazy taxi
booking
coming
it,
through.
like it was insane. Like Dawn never missed a beat
Never
with
missed
that
a beat.
camera, dude.
Never missed a beat.
Max adrenaline is so fun. I love
It's like Nightcrawler.
And then of course, the carpet reviews with Isla and all that goes without saying. All that stuff. Yeah, so our coverage stuff was like it was always a tiring thing, but it was such a good feeling to be there. Such a wonderful thing. I'm gonna miss it hugely.
Yeah. Well, and then the big GT years, it was such a machine. It was such a well-oiled machine.
Matt
with,
Blair, dude, at the home base.
But like, you remember,
Yeah.
like Elisa just like laying the ground rules for everybody. It's like, this is what you got to do, and this is what you got to write on your envelopes and all that, and just like making sure everybody like had the camera specs for the cameramen, and like we had like runners. So like there's like 20 something people back at GT just editing all day. And so runners would drive to the convention center from all the way across freaking town.
That's
That's
far,
a long
yeah.
way
That's far.
from where GT was.
In LA, that's an hour.
Yeah. And
one way.
we would
way.
put our tapes or our cards or whatever they were in these envelopes that had a log of everything that was on there. So every gameplay thing that we shot, every interview that we did, we logged it and we put it on an envelope. We gave it to these guys. They drove that stuff. They did a pickup from everybody.
Crazy.
They drove that stuff back to GT. And then even before we would get back from E3, like half the stuff we had shot for the day would already be up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the editors would, get it done. Bobby or somebody or Ryan would like look over it, give it a thumbs up. It would go out to Matt Blair and Jamie and Kelly and all those guys, and they would process it and put thumbnails on it and post it. And like,
If Isla were here, she would say, puke it out.
yeah, no, for real.
Puke it out.
Puke it out.
No, I remember those days too, Blood. It was such good vibes. I remember because it was such an intense but vibe, but such good camaraderie when it was the group of editors. Like the entire department, all of GT. It's like it was a hardcore experience for everyone. But there was always the pack editors and then we had to stay late. It was this time of the year. That
We
was just
we had shifts. We had a night shift.
Yeah,
we had a full-on night shift.
Yeah, I remember working that a couple times. And then there was one year I got to go there and do like live edits for what was it? It was the Spike coverage. I think was doing like live.
Well, we had a whole entire other crew where Keeley was running a show. Essentially, that was like
so
a
I worked
live
with
show.
them a couple
Bonus
of
round or
times, and
whatever?
that was super fun.
Yeah, and so people were running B-roll on that, but he had like couches where you had
Oh,
Jack
I
Tretton and
do
all those
remember
guys
that. Wow.
come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a whole crew from GT there. Like,
Same as like how GameSpot and
media
IGN did it,
trailers just
essentially.
parked outside. It was so
Yeah.
awesome.
Damn.
But yeah, so like I would come back. Well, and then the runners would also bring us lunches, so we wouldn't eat the
that's
lunches
nice.
that were at the convention center those years. They would just bring us Subways, and like we'd sit down on the floor and eat.
Yeah.
Subway sandwich efficient.
Yeah.
Max efficiency.
And then, but then there were years like I would come back to the office, and then I would just like start pitching in with Jamie and Kelly and those guys. I mean, just like we just got to get everything up. Just keep putting stuff up, blasting stuff
Load it
up
up.
until like I needed to go to sleep. And then there were a couple of years where like I crawled under my desk, just slept under my desk, and then was ready to go.
Oh, no.
We had to go back to the show floor the next morning.
That
Jeez.
Game Trailer's HD video.
So
Need
nice.
that.
So nice.
One year or at least 1 year, I had brought like one of those like fold out like camping cots.
Damn.
What?
Put that in like
That is insane.
the
Holy
library.
shit.
Oh man.
Well, dude, shout out to Blood for putting together our E3 schedules every time.
Yeah,
Every year,
good
Blood
call.
dealing with all of that.
That
for
was
all of
insane.
us.
Shout out,
insane.
Blood, shout
Making
out.
sure we have a lunch break every
Yeah,
time.
That was insane.
Insane
That
amount
was
of work, dude.
absolutely unhinged.
that was insane.
Well
Yeah.
done, Blood.
Yeah, that
Crazy
was-
amount of work.
That was after all the craziness.
Crazy
years,
amount of work.
Big giant years, but yeah, I had to learn how to play the Tetris game on your schedule. For
Yeah.
sure.
Try to line us up together for something or
Yeah.
something like
It is.
that. Yeah.
It is like such a crazy thing, and like Summer Game Fest and stuff are still kind of like this because it's sort of the same process. But it's like you have this weird period where it's like people start emailing you invitations, and they're like you're just not sure. Like stuff that you're getting is like you're not sure whether you want to book it or not. A lot of them will be vague. It's just like untitled whatever game. But then like, well, I need to leave space open for like Sony or Nintendo
Yeah.
or Capcom or something. And like,
Capcom Untitled Game. This could be Resident
Right.
Evil, or this could be
Square Enix Untitled Game.
Or it could
Ooh,
be-
Mr. Driller. It's like that.
Mr. Driller.
Namco, yeah. But yeah, so it like, so you would like have this weird thing where it's like, okay, what do I slot anything into? Because I just have a big open blank page, and then things would start coming in and things would start filling up, but I'm like, I still have heard nothing from Sony, and I know it's going to be a big block of time, or like, Bandai Namco's another one where it's just like, here, or Ubisoft, who's like, here, we need to take like 3 or 4 hours of your day.
Oh my God, Huber would be Ubisoft forever. Every time.
An all-day event.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And then what's crazy is then you get to like some like sort of zen point of that process where like anything that comes in is like, okay, that fits there. He's going to be, and then I had to figure out what hall, and keep track of what halls you're going to be in.
Yeah.
So you're not running back and forth
Yep.
doing miles of laps every freaking day.
It was very thought out, Blood.
Yeah,
So-
it was professional.
Professional work.
Well done.
Yep.
And yeah. But then still, like, how freaking wild was it that my first E3 was like GameCube heyday,
That's crazy.
Wind Waker, Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime, Eternal Darkness, a bunch of experimental crap that never came out. Like, all of my first E3.
Yeah, that's insane. E3.
Also, those guys did some of the stuff like Don was talking about, where like they were like getting in on the show floor while like the crews were still setting up, and so like they like they revealed like the GameCube logo and the like DS logo. It's like it's actually called Nintendo DS. It's confirmed.
That's funny.
Sneak in there. I was never comfortable with that. It's like I'll let them do that thing.
Yeah.
So one last shout out to Bobby Burns for
heck
trying to bet on horses at one of those E3s. I've told that story a bunch of times.
Calling his bank.
But that was another thing before GT when we were in that like when we were in that motel, there would also be just like some like little rinky dink internet cafe. And so after the Nintendo press conference, we would all just like go to that internet cafe and take over. And we would just like, each one of us, we would just like take different games that were in the press conference and write previews.
Wild.
So,
Wild times.
Wild times.
End of an era.
End of an era.
yeah.
R.I.P. E3.
Yeah. Hopefully we
We'll
get
miss
some
you.
press conferences back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would love a press conference. That'd be
Get
fun.
everybody in the same week. That's all.
Yeah, same time, please.
All I want.
Same
Do it
week.
before the hands-on.
Yeah, I don't want like a month-long thing. Just a week.
Yeah.
Just a week.
Yeah.
Is there any chance at all that they could do a convention type thing attached to the Game Awards, or is that time of year just wouldn't make sense? Period for that.
I mean, I don't know about convention, but this past couple of weeks has felt like a mini E3.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys have seen. Please go check out our previews because I think a lot of people are either just missing them or not clicking on them or whatever. But it's like, yeah, it's like we got the Last of Us thing. We got the Tekken 8 thing, which was sweet with Dawn. Eiyuden Chronicle was right there.
Prince of Persia.
That same day. Prince of Persia, and then there's one other one, and I'm like blanking on. But yeah, there's a bunch of the Day of the Devs thing. That whole thing.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
first time they've done that. Doing the
Yeah,
Day of the
yeah.
Devs right around the Game Awards.
Craziness.
So 17 games, and there was like more than double that there. There's like 45, 50 games that were at that event.
Yeah.
So
Wild.
cool stuff.
Yep.
So long, E3.
So long, E3.
So long.
Back to the depths of hell.
Yep. It's gonna come back as Android Frieza.
You don't want
just
that. It'll
get
get chopped
up by
immediately.
Keeley.
Yeah.
Keeley comes with speed trunks.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Don, go ahead and start rolling this guy. Monday, Atlus put out a 14-minute behind-the-scenes video on Metaphor ReFantazio.
Brett, I don't like the title.
That's okay. I get it. It's a word salad. Yeah, absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically an extended look at the upcoming fantasy RPG that's coming from the Persona team, including the director, character designer, and composer. And they go over the battle system, the world, music, all kinds of stuff. This is coming out fall of next year for PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Brad, what do you want to think? What do you want to say?
This is my most hyped game besides Final Fantasy VII. Easily. These guys know what the hell they're doing. They know how to make RPGs. And I'm so happy to see them take on a different setting that's not Japan as a high school student for once. Like, you look like the age of a high school student, but it's like, you're not in class or anything like that. You're out in this world. There are going to be time-sensitive things, like time management kind of things like that.
They talk about that as your travel.
Yeah, you
You're
travel
on this,
around the world, like
this
through
big
the world.
walking ship thing that you can walk.
Mortal
kinda
Engines.
Yeah.
Kind of like with Mass Effect and the Normandy. You can like wander around on that while you're traveling from place to place.
Yeah, the plot is I believe you're trying to become the king. There's like an election being held, and it's like a popularity kind of thing. So you're going around trying to get popularity to become the king of this new kingdom or whatever like that. So yeah, it is a turn-based RPG like Persona. However, there's also real-time combat elements to it, mostly with lower-level enemies. They were saying how sometimes when you're fighting just like, essentially trash mobs or something at a point, it can be kind of repetitive if you're just getting in combat all the time. So a lot of the weaker enemies you're going to be able to just mow down immediately. They were also kind of talking about something which I wasn't 100% clear on, maybe being able to judge.
Yeah, that was the thing I was trying to figure out too. Like they were trying to explain it, but I didn't quite
understand it.
Didn't quite get the feel for how it works.
But
yeah, you choose whether or not to enter the battle screen, essentially. Yeah. You like make that choice. So you go up and you start slashing guys, but if you want to go into like actual turn-based combat, that's a thing that you pick when you do or don't do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm very confused about that, but I look forward to that. It's going to have all your classic bonds systems. The party members they showed off look really cool. I really like the elf girl. She looks awesome.
These guys got huge ears.
Yeah, the elves in this game have like weird, huge ears. I guess elves always do, but they look cool.
I mean, but like even more than what you usually see out of elves.
Yeah. And it's like a fantasy setting kind of like with knights and everything, but it definitely has its own flavor. It's not like, you're not looking at like a From Software game where you're like, that is a knight. Essentially, but there's like people wearing all kinds of weird, wild clothes like that.
Anime cutscene hype.
A lot of anime cutscenes. Also, what's just really interesting is the protagonist this time is voiced actually. Like all Persona games, you are a voiceless protagonist, but in this one, your protagonist will be speaking actually.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how that's all going to play out. But yeah, I'm really curious to see about like this whole thing about going throughout the world and figuring out where you want to go and who you want to talk to build your reputation up to get to this like tournament of kings, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's looking damn good. Compromised, obviously, but it is what it is, you know.
They talked about Huber. They talked about people in this world have like lost the ability to wield magic naturally, so they kind of like rely on these tools.
They
or
need
whatever.
like a conduit or something
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
But you
The story sounds awesome.
You transform your body into a weapon called an archetype, and this is where your
Persona.
Yeah, but this is where your relationship stuff comes in
Yeah.
because they're saying that like when you talk to different characters, your impression of them and that interaction builds towards a certain archetype. So they're saying it's like, oh, you know, this girl kind of reminds me of a knight, and so then you get knight points for your archetype. This person feels like a warrior kind of person to me, and then you get warrior.
So I guess
stuff.
you have to choose their specialization or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like based on who you spend more time with, and that's sort of like how those different classes build up.
Yeah.
You're saying the visuals are compromised, but the art style.
No, the art style is top. They
so
always have
sick.
like the best. Their
Like-
art style is always so good.
Like the look of it is really freaking cool.
art
for
style
sure, yeah.
not compromised.
Yeah, not compromised.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
No way in hell.
Yeah.
Blood. I'm really curious to see how like that kind of stuff will play out. Actually, like because how they're explaining stuff, we don't quite have the full picture how a lot of it's going to actually work. Essentially, like scanning an enemy to figure out if you can fight in real time or not. So I'm really curious to see more on how that will play out.
Yo, cleaning the shit.
Yeah, you're like have this like blood say like your Normandy ship and it's traveling. It's like booking it too when it's
Yeah.
walking around. It's moving fast. And
Have we
just-
seen any coffee yet?
I don't know. I haven't seen coffee.
Maybe I don't know. They have
Fresh
this
brew
thing.
there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ship is called a Gauntlet Runner, and it was designed by Ikuto Yamashita from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then Kodo Kazama from Nier Automata did a lot of the
background.
arts and concepts and things like that. And there's again, they were talking about just learning from these guys and the stuff that they do, and it being like a different style and different direction because they're in a fantasy world rather than an urban setting. So
Yeah.
some pretty cool stuff in there.
Looks fun as hell.
Yeah, it's looking so damn good. It's coming out far away from Final Fantasy, thank God.
Yeah.
Atlas is cooking
some
this year,
space.
though, or that year. They got
Persona 3.
Reload. Yeah, they are cooking hard.
I know. I'm wondering if I'm gonna have the energy after Persona 3
That's a good
and
question.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Well,
If
this is
you're
going
a
to be
true
later,
gamer, you
much
will.
later in the year, for sure. There's I don't know if we saw any like examples of it in gameplay, but there's this bat-looking dude named Heisme.
Oh, he's like a party member, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He's freaky looking.
Yeah, he can detect anomalies that other people can't perceive.
Oh, okay.
So he's
kind
got
of
like
Teddy vibe.
he's also got huge ears, and he's got like kind of like wings on his
Yeah.
arms and stuff like that.
Yeah, Teddy vibes, but less cute. Less cute.
Nice.
Or like Morgana. Yeah.
And then they talked about the music too, and again that being
Yeah.
a very different direction. And so they talked about having a lot more large scale live instrumentation.
Yeah, which they haven't really done.
A bit more of an orchestral direction
Yeah.
than the Persona games.
And I bet it's so nice that they are allowed this freedom just to
Yeah.
create this new world,
Setting,
new
yeah.
game. Like obviously similarities to Persona, like we're saying, but
Yeah.
like they're it's probably liberating. Just being
Yeah,
able
I'm
to-
sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on this game. I'm begging you. Please keep an eye out on this game. It's going to be very good. Very good.
Looks pretty sweet. All right. Time for the November sales report from Matt Piscatella
GTA 5.
of Circana. They don't even report that. The digital sales
Every time.
aren't even there.
Every time.
I just like
GTA 5.
saying GTA 5.
GTA 5. Yes, it exists.
I just like it.
Before we get to our top 20, some little stats, some fun little other bonuses that Matt put in there. The inclusion in subscription offerings helped several titles see active user count boosts. On PlayStation 5, Aliens Fireteam Elite.
Sick game.
Yeah, that went up to 11th place in monthly active users during
Dude.
November, up from 714.
Wow. That is a very good game. Hardcore.
Cool.
And then Xbox, Wild Hearts, which we heard is going to be like ending service and stuff. They jumped from 501st place in October to 18th in November.
Cool game.
Yeah.
Cool game.
Yeah. Similarly, no surprise here. On Steam, Lethal Company
Oh my god,
Nice,
yeah.
ranked second in monthly active users in November,
Insane.
behind only Counter-Strike 2.
Wow.
So insane.
That is crazy.
It was 115 in October.
Wow.
It's insane.
What streamer played that game?
Yeah, who was
did
it?
it? Who did it? I don't know who it was.
Yeah. Who was it?
know.
Some huge streamer.
I'm sure it was. November video game hardware spending fell 24% compared to a year ago to $964 million.
I was waiting for those pros.
I don't know about that, but maybe.
I always just think like more people have them at this point.
Yeah, we're getting.
yeah,
we're,
you
we're,
see that with
we're starting
Switch.
to get
Yeah,
there. We're starting
definitely.
to get there.
Yeah.
All current generation consoles experienced a double-digit percentage decline in dollar sales compared to a year ago, with Switch showing the sharpest drop year on year.
Get wrecked, Switch. No, I'm just kidding.
PS5 still remained the best-selling hardware platform, both in units and dollar sales in November. Xbox was second in both.
Wait, do we have lifetimes of the three of them or no?
No.
I don't have the number with
No.
me right
Okay.
now. But
Switch is
we
like
definitely don't have
way,
Xbox
way,
numbers.
way above, right? Switch
Yes.
is
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Lifetime.
Lifetime.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Lifetime
Here we
U.S.
go.
unit sales.
Here we
units-
go.
Unit sales of Switch
Yeah.
surpassed those of Xbox 360.
Dude.
And now Switch trails only the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2 from the tracking from 1995 until now.
Dude.
Yep.
Switch. It's going for it.
Yeah.
And then the PS5 Black controller, again,
Number one.
best-selling accessory for the month.
Yeah.
It happened again.
Will you break another one?
Drift
Oh no.
What?
on my black one. This is like my 5th DualSense
Dude,
drift.
it's got to be something with you.
Apparently.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
You
Yeah.
you push too hard or something. I don't know, man.
I do think that, at least from a hardware
crazy.
technical design
crazy.
perspective, L3 and R3 are a mistake.
Oh, sure.
I think that probably contributes a lot to it because people, you're just jamming down on these things.
You jamming.
And eventually.
Yeah, you jamming.
Yeah. But I don't know.
My L3 on that one is
Do you
drifting now.
play games where you have to like push L3 to run or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Maybe.
Watch the pressure.
I don't know.
Think about your pressure.
Don't know. Because that's weird.
Call of
'cause
Duty, it's impossible not to like,
I've
or,
not
like
had
any
anything-
shooter. It's
Do you
I
think
clench.
because of like the haptics, you maybe have to pull harder on some things or whatever?
But you're not having issues with the triggers. You're having issues with the sticks.
only the sticks?
Well, what I'm saying is when he's pulling the triggers, he might be putting pressure everywhere in his hand while he's doing that.
Maybe.
Also,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't have a strong grip.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Dude.
I don't know.
I don't know. You got gamer grip. It's just like too much.
But there's a lot of that time is like that stuff is so like subconscious or
Yeah.
whatever. Because like I haven't had any drift issues, but like just the rubber on
Yeah.
my Switch's Joy-Con is really worn down from my wife playing it because I don't even play handheld very often unless I'm on a plane or something. And you're like, I just look at that thing. I'm like, how did you? This is the OLED. This is the newer one. How did you wear that down so fast? And she doesn't know. She's just playing Animal Crossing for the
playing
most
Animal-
part.
dude.
My only
Crossing and
defense.
Tetris.
My only defense is that I use it like all day, every day. So, I mean, it's definitely
one controller.
no. I mean, I rotate between like 2 or 3, but like still, that's
Yeah, I usually
just,
keep
like,
one on charge for backup, so I can just like swap them out. But
constantly using them. So, in terms of like hours used, it's a lot of hours, but it's crazy.
we got all those. Speaking of hours used, we got all those little cards this week from
Yeah.
Sony and Xbox
wraps.
and Nintendo. Those are fun. Not exactly the most accurate things, but still fun.
Yeah.
Because you said you were like,
Yeah, I was like, what? I looked at my Yakuza
Yakuza.
playtime and I have like 7 hours and it said I played 1 hour. I was like, what?
right.
Yeah.
Well, then somebody was like, oh, I didn't know Sea of Stars was that long. And I'm like, well, one, I'm slow. But then B is like, well, yeah, I reviewed it. So
Yeah, you probably had it on while you're doing other stuff.
I had it on when I was doing other stuff. I was capturing music. I would just, there you can listen to music in the bar, and like sometimes I would just leave that on and just listen for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of weird things that can go into a total playtime on that kind of tracking like that. But yeah, let's get to the top 20 over here for November. We have 4 new titles.
Call of Duty.
November.
They're
Call of
spread
Duty.
across the board. Call of Duty, number 1, right there. Number 1. Not only is Call of Duty number 1, it immediately became the number 2 best-selling game of the year
Yeah, definitely.
between Hogwarts and Tears of the Kingdom.
Just it like makes you realize, you know, it's easy. It's so easy because it happens to me all the time. It's so easy to lose track of like sometimes how small of a pool it is of people actually paying attention to like the video game industry, you know, because this game was roasted
Right.
for so many issues. The reviews are not great. One of the lowest reviewed Call of Duties to date, and it doesn't even matter.
But
no one.
But here's
cares.
another reason it doesn't matter. Because nobody can review that game on time.
Yeah, you just buy it day one.
Well, or now you buy
access.
it
Early
before
access.
day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Madden or whatever, you know? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
yeah.
People just buy it.
Some people
matter.
are going to review that campaign separately from the multiplayer. Other people are going to wait. So it's just kind of this weird thing.
Wild.
Because it's like,
Really wild.
because even if somebody like reviews the campaign badly in Call of Duty, how many people care?
Yeah.
Like they want to play the multiplayer anyways.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
care.
So,
Their friends are playing, they'll hop in.
and those multiplayer reviews aren't going to come out until at least 3 or 4 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
You said new games on the list?
3 more.
The man who erased his name.
No, not there.
Was Mario was October, right? I was trying to think.
Mario Wonder was October. That's in 5th place right now.
Oh, okay.
Lethal Company.
No.
I don't think Steam, they don't show that.
Well, it's not about Steam. It's more about the publisher.
Oh, okay.
So if they're
It's
in
publisher.
their
Got
tracking
it.
services or whatever.
What else came out in November?
Avatar. No, it's
No,
December.
December.
No, that's
Yeah.
December for sure. We got 2 RPGs.
That's you, Brad. What the hell?
We got another game that Huber's
I don't know
played.
what's coming out anymore.
Super Mario RPG.
There you go. 7.
There it is.
7th place right there.
Nice.
Pretty nice.
That is
Remember, there's no
nice.
digital sales tracked on
Yeah.
Nintendo, so that's a pretty
Power
good
of
spot
Nintendo, dude.
for a remake.
Yeah, really good game.
Metal Gear Solid Collection.
No, that was before.
I like that.
Where is see if it made it on the list at all? I don't see it. No, didn't make it back.
I don't know what's come out. I have no idea what came out in November. What came out? What RPG came out in November
one
that
more,
I can't
yeah.
think of? Because it wasn't like a dragon.
Huber,
Yo.
you played one? Come on. What did you play recently?
God of War.
No. Is it on there though? That is on there at 15th though.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
Came
impressive.
up from 36.
Sick. Recently.
Pretty recently.
Pretty recently, an RPG you played pretty recently.
Not an RPG.
Oh.
This
Something you
one's not
played
an
pretty
RPG. There is an RPG left though.
Something you played
That
pretty
we have played.
some Naruto game? I don't know.
Naruto.
There you go. We got it. 12th place.
Dude, crazy.
Naruto, Cross Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections.
That is crazy.
And then in 17th place, it's Star Ocean. Second
Star
Story R.
Man.
Dude, I forgot about that game.
Dang.
Sadly. I heard it's great.
Looked really good.
It looks really good.
yeah.
Hogwarts also got a big boost from the Switch launch.
Oh, yeah.
Went from 10th to
Yeah, of
3rd
course.
place.
Switch power.
Yeah.
How is that port?
I don't know.
Switchy? Yeah, probably not great.
Probably not great, but
art
not
I
great?
haven't seen any chatter about it.
Oh my God, is Batman on there?
Oh, right. That Batman? No,
Okay.
that's not.
Stinky
I did
Batman.
see chatter about that.
Yes. Woo! Woofy yikes.
That's a stinker. Yeah, anything else you want to look for before we go?
WRC.
WRC did not make it.
Where's Spider-Man on
Actually, I think that might have been the month before, but it still would have. Yeah, or Spider-Man?
there? Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is in 2nd place.
Wow.
Hanging in there strong.
Was Starfield on there?
No Starfield.
Last of Us Part 2.
No.
No. I was gonna say maybe buy it and get the upgrade or something later on.
Oh yeah,
That's
a good idea.
That's potential, but I don't know that I'd want to do that if there's going to be a much better visually version.
Alan Wake 2.
No.
Oh yeah, I saw.
There's a lot behind that. Epic doesn't share numbers. B, there's no physical version.
Yeah.
And then Piscadella was also saying that like it's not very high on the monthly active user lists.
Yeah, everyone beat that game in like a couple days. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's
fine.
It's a hard one to judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People beat that thing instantly.
Forza?
Is Forza? No Forza.
Oh.
No Forza.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not even kidding. Have
I
you
know.
seen the player numbers for this right now? It's like the most all time.
Because there was a sale on
Yeah.
Steam.
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
it's still because they don't track their digital. It's not there.
It's Power Steam, baby.
All right.
We did Mario Wonder already. We did Spider-Man. We did Call of Duty.
Tropical Freeze.
Love the
Tropical
enthusiasm.
Freeze right
Love it. Zelda.
now. I don't think we have Zelda anymore.
Ooh,
I think
not
it
getting
dropped
close to that
off.
50. Damiani's laughing.
There's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time. We'll talk re-releases, dude. We got 10 years.
On the new Switch.
Switch Pro version.
Yeah.
Switch 2. Get ready, Damiani. Get ready.
All right, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
down
go
this
ahead,
thing.
Blood. Go ahead.
20th.
Oh, sorry. We're gonna say Mario Kart. Just,
Mario
just
Kart.
to get all of our ducks in a row.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mario Kart.
dude, I think Mario Kart slipped off finally.
What?
Whoa.
Nintendo's failing.
I don't think Mario Kart's there.
Wow.
They should go third party.
Dead game.
But you know what's weird though? Isn't there a Mario Kart bundle?
Probably. I don't know.
So maybe people that want Mario Kart right now are actually just buying the
I
bundle
feel
and
like
it's not
everyone
counting.
has.
or
How do you
something
not
weird?
own Mario Kart
Yeah.
at this point?
Bought that for the niece and nephew, the bundle.
Sick,
Nice.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Cool bundle.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 20th place up from 73. Just Dance 2024 edition.
Is it on Wii this year? No.
No,
I think it's
that's
finally
long
done.
gone. That's long gone.
Yeah. I just thought maybe it was coming back.
19 Minecraft hanging in there.
Of course.
18 Miles Morales. 17 is Star Ocean. 16 is NHL. 15 is God of War. 14 Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh.
Cal Kestis.
13 Sonic Superstars. Still hanging in there.
Sonic Superstars, right?
12 is Naruto.
That's badass.
11 Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Nice.
10 UFC 5. 9 is NBA 2K24. 8 Mortal Kombat 1 hanging in. 7 is Mario RPG. 6 is EA Sports FC 24.
Yeah.
Still doing strong.
Yep.
That name change did not hurt them
It didn't
whatsoever.
matter.
5 Super Mario Brothers Wonder. 4 is Madden. 3 is Hogwarts. 2 is Spider-Man 2. And 1 is Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Raj.
Rog.
Raj.
Give me a sit rep. Rog.
All right.
Full playthrough on Easy Allies.
Plays.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
YouTube.
Nice.
I enjoyed it more because chat was there.
Sick.
It was fine. It was fine. It's whatever.
With chat.
It's fine. Not the best.
We got more news to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. All right, Huber,
Yo.
Don,
Yo. Oh.
you got to tell us about this Avatar game.
Avatar, dude.
Everyone been calling it Avatar Far Cry.
It is.
All right.
It is.
We knew that.
What does that mean?
We
What
knew
does that
ahead
mean?
of time.
What
Just the feel, not like
the Far Cry formula.
the formula. The formula is the word I'm looking for. Yes, the formula. Even like the UI, some of the stuff. You know,
Do
opening
you
a
like
weapon
hunt
wheel and
animals,
crafting.
like get 5 animals and then get a
pouch.
larger pouch?
There is hunting. There's like crafting. It really tries to pull you into like the nature vibe, which is awesome.
That's nice.
This game is canon.
Right.
Made in association with Lighthouse. Like, I don't think Cameron ever commented on it or really worked on it at all, but John Landau, like, was one of the main producers, like, pretty involved in there. Takes place parallel to Way of Water, just on, like, kind of the other side of the world. lot of like documents. You know, you'll pick up some documents that like mention Jake Sully and stuff. So it's like trying. One thing before we get into it is, you know, I and Don love James Cameron, and I think Avatar is freaking cool because of James. Like, James Cameron has a way of making that stuff cool, like all the mechs and like, you know, the hunting and the world. Like, yeah, you can look at it, think it's cheesy, whatever, but like, I just think Avatar is really cool. Like the battle scenes, the nature vibe, like all of the technology, not just how the movie was made, but like the technology in universe, I think is so cool. And this game is not cool. This game is not cool. Yeah. This has like the Ubisoft cheese, really weird, over-the-top, quirky characters, just a strange vibe and cast, you know, and it like people are talking and it doesn't really feel like Na'vi are talking. It's just, it's a little off, it's a little strange, but they really get the world and the plant life and the animals. Like when you harvest something, you have to like hold the trigger like really slowly and then kind of find the right way to take it off, you know, respecting nature. Then you'll get like more valuable crafting resources. There's like a lot of crafting.
But yeah, what are you crafting though? Like,
crafting like food stuff, because you have to eat to keep your energy up. That'll like kind of regen your health if you have more energy. The movement and the scale, shout out, you feel tall. You'll come up to a human towering over them and you'll punch them and they'll just go flying. Like some really cool stuff. You have a bow and arrow is like the main weapon. Really nice, good precision. You know, you can go full Natiri style and like bow the mech riders, like they're in their mech suit. You know, you can like shoot an arrow right through them. Takes a couple hits, but like because you gotta like break the glass and like you'll get them. There's also like a rifle, which is like really strong but really wild. You know, because you're Na'vi, you're all about that bow and arrow. So like it feels really cool, that balance of like, yo, this machine gun feels really strong, but also just like kind of crazy. And then you get like this sling that you can like throw traps and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much just the Far Cry formula. You know, you get your Witcher vision, your detective vision, looking at things. It's weird because they have guided and exploration mode like in Assassin's Creed.
Right.
This time, however, it recommends guided. Whereas in Assassin's Creed, you know, Valhalla and Origins and stuff, it would recommend exploration, which means like it would give you clues as to where your objective is,
right,
and then you would have to use those clues to find it. This now, the guided mode, it's actually really good because there's not a constant waypoint up. You just use your Navi vision.
Yeah.
But also, like, there's so much to grab, and because there's no waypoint and you bring it up to see the waypoint, like, you're kind of using that a lot. Like, you're bringing up your vision a lot, so it's kind of jarring. And
is there, like, a villain, like a Far Cry-esque villain?
The most generic shit you've ever seen, like Jake Mercer, and he's like, yo, we spent a lot of money on you, Na'vi. You're gonna do what we say, blah, blah, blah.
Pretty
Just
boring.
Like, yeah, wishes he was friggin' Giovanni Ribisi. He's like a Giovanni Ribisi cross Stephen Lang. He's kind of like both Quaritch and I forget Ribisi's name in Avatar Dawn.
They talk, you know, kind of like hyped up like seeing different tribes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What have character interactions been like?
They're okay. Like, it's just weird, quirky Ubisoft characters, though, that are, like, really hit or miss. Some of the main Na'vi characters are pretty cool. There's, like, one or two really cool ones. The premise of the Na'vi tribe is sick because it's, like, the storyteller tribe. So they, like, a lot of the Na'vi tribes are hunkered down into specific spots in Avatar. But this one is a traveling group of Na'vi that takes the stories of everything and spreads it to the other Na'vi, so all the tribes kind of like respect them. So it's kind of like cool. Like I really like
bards,
that element.
The bards of the
Basically,
Na'vi,
yeah. So that's really cool. And then there's all just like the leveling up and stuff. You know, you got to find these like main trees that you connect with your hair or whatever. Those will give you skill points. Plug in. You get a double jump. The jumping in this game and movement is really good. There's
That's
like
great.
you put your weapon away, run faster, Counter-Strike vibes. You hold jump, and you'll charge, and then you can release, and you'll do a charge jump. So the movement just feels awesome. You can slide a lot, just like running and leap jumping and then sliding and then jumping again and like double jumping. Like it just feels really, really good. And then visually it's super good.
You're like Whiplash. It's like, this game is not good.
It's a
not
7.
Cool,
So we're swimming, baby.
Great movement.
We're
Okay.
swimming hard. Big time swimming. And I just love Avatar a lot. And the fact that it is like, I mean, they're calling it canon. They worked heavily with Lighthouse. Like they've had their lore masters working together. It's like, yeah, takes place during Way of Water. Like I wonder if this bard storytelling Na'vi tribe will show up down the line in another Avatar, even a couple throwaway lines or like a little reference here. I was like, I bet these people will be mentioned in a movie at some point, even if it is tiny.
I don't even know if this would be considered a spoiler or not, but do you have, are there like human factions like Jake Sully or whatever, that like other people that you talk to that aren't enemies?
Yeah, there's humans with you. There's like a big prologue. I won't spoil, a little bit of a time jump and stuff. And that's why we take place during Way of Water now. But yeah, there's humans helping you out. Not all humans are bad, but you're still fighting like the RDA, the main human enemies. Spiders. I don't know my flying mount yet, but you get a flying mount.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
yet.
wondering, is like what the flying and the riding feel like.
Yeah, I'm not that far yet. Just played, handful of hours. So, but I mean, I
Don's
like
been
it
playing.
enough to see it through. Yeah, Don, I'm eager to see what you think, man.
Got to get Don's thoughts too.
Yeah, I am loving this game extremely much. And you say, oh, that's the most predictable thing. Of course, Don likes it.
Let us see you, Don.
That's not the case, though, because, all right, before we saw what the game was, obviously I had sky-high hopes, okay? I had hopes for this game, right? Then we saw the revelation of the game, and my hopes were not dashed, but they were brought down a lot, where I was like, okay, this is what the game's going to be. But then I saw the further trailer, and I was like, oh, the world, though, is looking impressive, blah, blah, blah. We jump ahead to the game. Everyone has criticisms of this game, but also everyone is unanimously praising the world.
Yeah,
It cannot be understated or overstated. I don't know. This is the best representation of a movie world possibly ever done in a game, I would say, in terms of like consistency and quality and quality of immersion and everything. It is so unbelievably good that it is much like, when that first Avatar came out and people were going to see it over and over and over because they didn't want to be in reality. They just want to be in Pandora. It's like that good. I'm not making this up. It's that good. To the point that it's better. It's gotten me more interested in the movies since I've been playing in this world than like I had in the world before. Okay, I loved Pandora. I loved the visual spectacle. But to actually be there, to actually be like what Huber's saying, leaping from trees to vines, running on those things and having it feel so good. There is water in the game. I thought there was going to be no water, which is a big disappointment. We're not in way of the water. It's happening near there. But there's huge bodies of water that you can swim underneath, underwater. The feeling the first time I leapt off a cliff into the water.
The visuals
and was
are
able
excellent.
to swim. So satisfying. So just being in this world and traversing. It's interesting, Huber, because I did the, what do they call it? Explorer or whatever. where
Oh,
they're
nice.
Not giving you, now look, I wish you had done that, Huber, because it's so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you get lost constantly.
Definitely.
Which is it's interesting what you say. You're bringing that thing up all the time when you have the option to, because I probably would too if I did that mode, because there's been several times where it's to the point of almost frustration when you're trying to get something done, because sometimes you're like, like I can't quite figure out where to go. It's like that limited in terms of the clues they're giving you and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like a really nice balance to be able to be lost in that world. I mean, there's times I've gone into the game and I've played for a couple. I like similar to Huber, I'm actually not super far into it, but there's been times when I've gone in and I've played just for an hour or two and I've literally accomplished almost nothing. I've just been exploring. You know, you study the plants and they have all the data, like all the information on the like species of plants, the animals, everything is so thorough, so well thought out. There's so many games that do that where you can like scan a million plants and animals and this and that, and they give you the info on it. And it's like, okay, whatever. This, it's like, it feels like so far beyond to me, like what Star Wars or any like universe that's been created that's like consistent with all these things it makes up. This world, as Avatar, is like so well represented in here and so well thought out that it feels like a real thing, you know. So it's like,
Don, I just really don't like the characters, man.
So that's important. So initially, and here's the thing, right? So you got to go into it and you got to play it a certain way. But like when the introduction to the characters, the introduction to the plot, all that stuff, yeah, you feel like you're being like browbeaten with like annoying cliche characters, this and that. In all fairness, the first Avatar, I think the second one came a long way in terms of characters, the quality of characters and stuff like that. But the first one was like, I mean, that was one of my few gripes of the first movie. It was like, it was somewhat cliche, the characters a little bit, you know, a little bit like caricatures of things you've seen before. You've seen these types of these
Quaritch is a 10 out of 10.
Sure he is, Huber, but you've seen that archetype like a million times before. He wasn't like a super original like character or whatever, right? So like Avatar always had that initially anyway. So yeah, this doesn't feel great when you first get the plot introduced and all that. But after you get, and like I said, I'm not through the whole game, so who knows what happens, how overbearing the story gets. But like, you get your missions, you hear these people talking, this and that, and there's like, yeah, maybe you're not so into the personalities and all this stuff, but like, you're gone then. I'm not even worried about the story anymore. I'm like, these are my goals, and this is me in this world experiencing it, and I don't have to be like worried about what the whole plot. I know it's super hard, probably, you know, Huber puts a lot more value on narrative and story and all that stuff, and for someone like me, I surely put the most value on like like a story can pretty much stink and I can still think the game is a 10, which is like, you know, not a lot of people can't do that. But if the most important thing to me is like what this game does the best, I think, which is just like mechanics of gameplay, the feeling of shooting, the feeling of sneaking, how the world is to traverse, how believable it is for you to put yourself in there, and how enjoyable it is to mess around. And this, for me, in that regard, is an beyond a 10. We're like, this other stuff is forgivable. Like, you know, whatever. I don't know. Every single aspect doesn't have to be excellent to me for you to enjoy this game on a level like I haven't of like many. I can't think of like a movie related property that has been like this well done, at least not off the top of my head.
Spider-Man 2, but that was a long ass time ago, and it was more like regurgitating the plot of the movie. This is like
and
original,
even that, like
which
Spider-Man
is really cool.
is a good example, though. It's like the level. Okay, so like the level of detail. And
GoldenEye.
Sure, you're in New York and all this stuff, but like so much of that is grounded in reality, and so you're seeing stuff that you're like, okay, that's just a representation of this in the real world, whatever, in the Spider-Man New York, right? But this is like everything is fictional, and everything is like so interesting and like so full. It's just like lush, not just the environment, but like
so many things on screen at one time sometimes with all the animals and insects and everything. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and the audio design is like so unbelievably good, like top tier. We're talking about Cameron quality of like the cinematic, in terms of technical quality. This is like the movie quality where it's like everything in that regard at least is right.
Don, I wish I could play it in IMAX.
It's, you know, it's funny though. Actually, I had it because I've been playing just on my PC, but like I had it running on. I was like, you know what? I'm going to hook this into the big screen. I got to play this on the big screen.
Right.
But then there was actually, I don't know what it might have been something with something was going on where there was a slight. It felt like there was a little bit of a performance dip to the point where I like went back to just play it on my on the PC monitor, because it was like, you know, I don't know. So there's something big thing about the movement that felt like a tiny bit not quite as smooth. So it was odd, but it might have been my technical setup. So I don't know. I'm quite impressed with it. I'm having like so much fun. I think it's just a great companion to the movies. I think it brings you into that world like a lot. I think if you already liked it, like I was never one of those people that was completely 100%, I want to exist in Pandora and everything. But this almost puts me in that mind state, which I appreciate so much because I yearned for that a little bit. When I'd hear about the level of love some people would have for the Avatar universe, I would be like, I love the movies, but I don't have quite that level of passion. But this, when I play, it almost brings me to that. It feels like it's just completely consuming in that level and satisfying. So it's like, and just everything, it's just impressive, like the technology, everything they made up for this world, how unified it is, how believable it is, and how like charming it is, at least to me, I think. For fantasy world, I think it's like extremely well done, and so like some of that other stuff can be forgiven, and it's like none of that stuff is like half, it's none of the bad character stuff or things like that is because you're like, oh, they phoned it in, something like that. It's like you can tell there's max effort in all these things, and it's the fact is it's not that easy to write like 12 characters in this scenario and not have them be cliche in these certain kind of ways and stuff like that. I mean, it just doesn't happen almost ever. So it's like, I think we got to give this game like a little bit of benefit of doubt in that sense. And like, if you love the world of Pandora and if you love whatever at all, even, I would say even if you're halfway there, you could like really, really, really end up enjoying this game. And if you love technical marvels, spectacles, I don't think there's a game that's done it better than this. I don't know. That's better than a world that is like more beautiful and enjoyable to traverse that's come out this year. So it's a bummer because it's
Spider-Man 2.
It's missed all the award stuff. I guess, Huber, but like, like a lot of the criticism of Spider-Man 2, like, is it that much better than the first one visually and all that? First of all, like, sure it is a little bit, but not like hugely. Okay, so one sense it's like, a little bit we've seen this before, somewhat at least. Isn't like the same kind of level of shock and beauty as when there's like been at least 6 or 7 moments in this game already.
When you go up on that cliff and that title drops.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
There's been like 6 moments or more though where I'm like, I just go over a bluff or I pass through a little thing or I get into the or this happens where I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. That Horizon DLC was this year though.
Yeah. Don, I also am a little concerned as someone who has intimately completed Far Cry's and Assassin's Creed's, Ubisoft's like formula spread out over the course of like 20, 30 plus hours.
Well, that's what remains to be seen. And I think that's where the heaviest criticism is coming in on this. A lot of people are saying as you keep getting further and further.
Yeah. So I'm a little concerned about that. But I think everything you've said is spot on. Like exploration and world specifically are top notch.
Yeah.
I also like that little mechanical device that you can like hack shit with.
Yeah, the hacking. I'm hoping that hacking gets quite complex.
It's fun.
Right now it's way too simple. But you have this little mechanical device. You can like follow electrical lines. You can see internal structures, but then you can hack devices, and it becomes this little like maze mini game.
A lot of like pressure sensitive trigger stuff. I like
Interesting.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don, did you get to any flying or riding or anything
I'm
like
not
that
at the
yet?
flying yet either.
Okay,
No.
so they build that up then.
Yeah, build it up.
They really make you
Just like in the movie.
Nice.
I think it's going to feel so good the first time.
Torek Mach 2 or whatever.
Yeah, y'all are making me want to jump in, even if it's just to run around them for an hour or two.
Dude, it's sweet. And in Avatar 4, when they reference the tribe, I'm going to do the freaking Leo meme.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, yo, that's for us. That's for us, Don.
Also this week, Alone in the Dark, delayed again
Ooh.
from January to March 20th.
Wow, okay.
March, that's Resident Evil time, right? Or like Resident Evil 4 was March? Or April?
I don't
I think
remember.
Resident Evil was in May.
May?
Or maybe, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't
March
matter.
March just seems like a really good month to release a game. That's all I got to say.
Well, a lot of games come out that month.
Yeah,
because of
Yeah.
a
fiscal-
lot of games come out in March.
fiscal year ending, so they want to
Yeah.
get their numbers in before the reports.
Rise of the Ronin.
I'm highly invested in anticipating Alone in the Dark. I need a win there, Bloodworth. I need a win.
Yeah, I'm mixed.
We need a
I'm
win.
not sure. Like, I think they could pull it off, but I'm a little unsure.
Well, now that Alan Wake 2 also came out and raised the bar again, it's like, yo, Resident Evil,
Yeah.
and Alan Wake, it's Dead Space. That was a lot I mean, I think it is good that it's coming out next year because those 3 survival horror games that came out last year are like cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to get into all of this, but even what I've got is going to take a second. So 4 days after the early access launch of the day before, developer Fantastic announced it was out of money and had to shut down. After a number of controversies, the launch turned out to be a disaster. The servers were overloaded. There were huge bugs, such as players falling through the floor as soon as the opening cutscene ended. And the game didn't line up with what was pitched at all. People thought it was going to be like some big open world zombie MMO and ended up being just like an extraction shooter. And then it ended up getting delisted from Steam. IGN gave it a 1 out of 10. And it went from being one of the most wish-listed games on Steam to one of the most negatively reviewed games ever on the platform.
that is unprecedented.
And now they're working with Steam to refund everybody that bought the game.
Everyone.
Yeah. Everybody that
What
wants
a
a refund, go get your money
disaster.
Yeah,
back.
that is an absolute
A
disaster.
1 out of 10 is the most insane thing.
I think they said it's been like a
possible.
decade since they've had a 1 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, that is more insane than giving a game a 10 out of 10. Like a 1 out of 10?
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, that's like the game just doesn't work.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
more than it doesn't work. It's like a
It's
grift.
insulting.
Yeah.
It's an insulting
It's a
game.
grift. Was this game a grift?
That's what a lot of people are asking.
It was a scam.
Yeah, definitely. 'Cause
Yeah.
there was a lot of other controversies throughout the years of like, it looked like they were copying trailers. It looked like they were copying art. Logo even. People were like, this looks like the Last of Us logo. Like there was a lot that went on with this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. Embracer layoffs continue. There's I have to add more because there's more from when I made my notes last night.
All right, go ahead.
This week, publisher PlayOn confirmed the closure of Free Radical Design, which was just reformed a couple of years ago to reboot Time Splitters.
Why, dude? Time splitters.
There's no word on whether the work that's been done is going to get moved to another team. We have no idea if that Time Splitters game is completely shelved or what. It probably is.
Probably is.
But yeah, 80,
Is there, like-
80 developers lost their job on that one. They also, just this morning, let me see if I can find this. They just laid off people at 3D Realms and Slipgate Ironworks as well.
Is there like one person at Embracer doing this?
I mean,
Like
the
who-
CEO is in charge of it, Lars Wingefors, but I'm sure there's a whole executive team, HR, and all that stuff.
What's
evaluating.
Lars's paycheck look like?
Oh, I'm sure it hasn't been touched. Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure that's been reported that nobody's executive salaries are being touched in a lot of
The
this.
shareholders, Mike.
It's the fucking
Yeah.
CEO, man. God.
Yeah.
So
Similarly,
many people.
Similarly, Hasbro. This kind of like is on the edge of our stuff, but Hasbro's laying off 1,100 employees.
1,100?
Yeah. And this is particularly affecting staff at Wizards of the Coast, who are in charge of D&D and Magic the Gathering.
I thought that is always doing amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. They are doing really well, and they're floating the rest of the company, but they're still getting layoffs because of, softness in other parts of the company.
Like toys or whatever.
But yeah, so Hasbro's CEO said the layoffs were, quote, a lever we must pull to keep Hasbro healthy. The majority of the notifications will happen over the next 6 months, with the balance occurring over the next year as we tackle the remaining work on our organizational model. So there are definitely a lot of people have already said they've been laid off at Wizards of the Coast the past couple of days. But I just can't imagine knowing that many layoffs are going to happen over the next 6 months and just trying to do your job, not sure if somebody's going to tell you you're going to get laid off.
Yeah.
It's like you're
wild.
standing on a trap door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is insane. That is so many people.
Yeah. Wired Magazine laid off a bunch of people. I don't know how many people this week, but I just saw a bunch of people that were losing their jobs at Wired. Oh, my God. So, yeah. One of the bigger stories of this year just keeps happening. Epic won a case against Google, that whole free Fortnite
Epic
thing.
v.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The jury found that Google's Play Store should be considered an illegal monopoly.
Wait, say that again?
The jury found
Yeah.
that the Google Play Store on Android should be considered an illegal monopoly.
Legal monopoly.
That sounds intense, dude.
Google's planning to appeal, of course, so don't expect this
Right.
to end
This is not the
with
end.
this. There's going to be...
An army of lawyers versus an army of lawyers.
Yeah.
This is going on for a while, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's going to be any major changes to anything anytime soon. So, but yeah, definitely check out some
Wild times.
some people that can dive into that a little bit more to find out more about that. Microsoft has announced a $100 holiday discount for the Xbox Series X. So now you can get that for $399 for probably until the end of the year.
That's a good deal.
They don't have a specific end date on that promotion.
That's a great deal.
Yeah. I saw people posting this for $350 also.
Yeah, there's places that
Oh.
are doing even deeper cuts on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
350. Any other things come with it, or just
No, that's
like
just the
any
system
Game
itself.
Pass, like a month of Game Pass, or
You might get that.
It depends probably on the retailer and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, but
It's
yeah.
legit.
So, and then Valve has asked people to please stop purposely inhaling the exhaust from their Steam Decks.
Yeah, you perverts, just leave it be. Like, who's doing that?
No.
Sniffing it?
Using it for
be
normal
a-
operation is
Jeez,
safe,
Get help.
but probably not healthy to specifically go and
Yes.
inhale those fumes.
The fumes are really like hot, so it just like they smell good.
You're an addict. Seek help.
I'm gonna inhale the fumes from my tea over here.
If inhaling fumes is wrong, I don't want to be right.
I like inhaling, new games. Like you open up a new game case.
Sure.
I smell that. I
little
love
bit
that
different.
It's a
smell.
little different.
Than hot electronics.
Yeah, it's a little different.
All right, it's time for Love and Respect. Love and Respect. From Brandon Ray. What type of gamer archetype do you most closely identify with under Bartle's player taxonomy? For context, here are the 4 identified types. I have no idea where this came from. Brandon just brought this to my attention. Never heard of this before. So here are the 4 types. Number 1, killers. These players enjoy creating chaos and challenging authority by attempting to alter the functioning of the game's world
Damiani.
and trying to affect the experience
Damiani.
for other players.
100% Damiani.
He doesn't grief, though.
He doesn't grief.
No.
But yeah, it's
But
more
he does try to break the game.
single
does.
player
He
stuff.
does,
yeah.
Yeah.
Achievers. Their goal is to accumulate status, loot, and points by winning the various battles within the game.
Numbers going up.
They tend to follow the game's rules, unlike the killers.
I really follow the rules, so I'm going to put a pin in that one. I
It's
want
like
to
the
hear the other
trophy
two.
hunter.
Oh, I don't really go for trophies, but I do go for like completionist. Like, I'm doing every quest in the game.
Yeah.
Every
for
single side quest. If there's a,
sure. Explorers. They want to discover the systems that govern the function of the game world, understand their technicalities and uniquenesses, and learn how to take advantage of them.
That's more Damiani then.
Maybe.
That seems, yeah.
I feel like I'm in the line between the achievers and explorers somewhere. Yeah. Because, like, that is definitely part of, like say, like, why I take so long on a Souls game. It's like, oh, there's all these weapons. I just want to try
Try them out.
all the weapons. Just give them a run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, bud.
I like mixing it up. I've been using this weapon for 5 hours. Let me try something else I haven't been using.
What do you think of the halberd, blood?
Halberd, I'm not as into as some of the other things, but
How come?
I'll throw it on there and give it a try here. And
Do you
there.
two-hand it and single-hand it? hand,
Sometimes,
two
yeah,
hand?
I'll use both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like the spear more or less than the halberd?
Probably a little bit more.
A little more spear, okay.
A little bit more.
What's your weapon of choice, though, in Dark Souls? At the end of the day, Yeah, I bet.
Not usually a club, but the mace.
Oh, okay.
So from Dark Souls 3, the mace has been a good.
mace?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Chill.
Yeah.
Sick. Love it. No wrong answer in any Souls game. Use any weapon.
Socializers want to form connections with other players by telling stories, sharing tactics, and working together within the game.
Not me. I'm probably in the middle of those other 2 and 3, I guess.
I'm in the middle of
Explore
2 and 4.
Yeah,
think.
I guess so.
Yeah, because you definitely want to get the buddies together. And, Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I follow the rules, I'm not looking to
Good boy.
min-max or break anything. It's like, the game. Like, I feel like my only strength in gaming is, like, I usually, unless it's Darkest Dungeon 2, I usually know exactly what needs to be done very quickly, and I know exactly how to, like, make that happen very quickly. It's okay, fundamentals. My fundamentals are good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be used like a God of War example. I'm not going to be using a million crazy combos. It's like, I'm going to use my like couple combos, get my health, strength, and defense up. Good to go.
Don, what do you feel you gravitate toward any of these?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I just came back. I had off the headphones for a second. Something came up in here.
Got it.
Sorry
Yeah,
about
no
that.
worries.
Not sure where we are.
No worries. We were on the first question in Love and Respect.
Oh, thanks.
We're ending that now. We're going on a second one from Frankie. Hey, allies. I have a piece of investigative journalism for you.
Excellent. I hope it's hard hitting.
Since hearing about it during a press release me segment in June, I have secretly infiltrated the Gonna Need Milk Discord channel.
No way. Undercover?
For those unaware, this is a gaming-centric Discord server managed and moderated by Milk, the overarching body made up of
Sick
representatives
freaks.
from all major milk companies and dairies across the U.S. They're like the ESA of milk. Since June, Big Milk has been hosting game nights with different influencers and streamers in the Big Milk developed game Zany Ziplines in Fortnite, along with other games in Minecraft and Roblox, etc. The premier game, Zany Ziplines, is actually pretty good, chaotic fun. The levels, as expected, have a lot of ziplines and a consistent milk theme to them, like a dairy in space. Most of the time, everyone on the Discord seems to be in on the joke that this is a pretty silly channel. It's quiet, but people come in and write sarcastic posts about how milk changed their life, or drop the joke and just chat. Occasionally, however, Big Milk makes it known that they're Big Milk and throws some money around. For their 12 days of Christmas celebration, they're doing daily giveaways of huge value, including game consoles, gaming PCs, and in-game currency for the games they support. On day one, Big Milk gave away 45,500 V-Bucks.
Oh, I'm missing out.
If you include discounts, this is about $300 in Fortnite money.
Dude.
This first giveaway just so happened to go to me.
No way.
Now with $300 from Big Milk, I can no longer provide impartial investigation since I am in their pocket.
Compromised.
Oh, no.
Or their udder, so to speak.
Ew.
Now you have enough to buy those turtles in Fortnite when they come out.
Hopefully.
Get ready. Yeah, hopefully. Jeez.
The funniest part of all this? I am very much lactose intolerant. Happiest of holidays to all the allies. It was great to chat with Blood at the Game Awards as well. May your 2024 be filled with lots of milk.
No. No.
Love it.
That is hilarious. He went in the milk Discord. I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid like some
Oh,
FBI
you don't have to be
agents.
afraid. Now you might win some.
No, Blood. I feel like some FBI agents gonna be watching
Yeah,
me if I go
on the watch
into
list.
Discord. Yeah.
Government payouts in the milk Discord. Oh, let's play a game. I think we lost on. There's the lights. There we go.
Shooting at the lights.
From Martin Manson. Greetings, allies, and happy holidays. I have a game for you, one I'd like to call The Sequel is Always Worse. It's a long-standing belief
way.
in the movie industry that a sequel is always worse than the original,
No.
with some notable
I
exceptions.
refuse.
Often they're just cash grab looking to squeeze more hard-earned cash out of the fans of the original. But is the same true for games? I've looked at aggregated scores from Metacritic for some well-known video games and their sequels, and I'm wondering whether you can tell me which scored higher. Sometimes it's a lot closer than you might think.
I think about this all the time. I've been thinking about it with Spider-Man 2 a lot, actually. Because, and just sequels in general. It's like the expectations are so different. It doesn't get the benefit of being original and fresh or anything. You know, the sequel
Right.
can technically be better, like mechanically and visually and everything, but it doesn't get that extra buzz, that extra hype of being the first, which is really interesting.
Yeah. So we got
All that
12.
stuff is just like taken for granted going in right at the gate.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, that's already out the window. It's done. We've been here before. Okay, now what? It's nuts.
Yeah. So we have 12 overall. Starting it off, Huber,
Yeah.
Resident Evil versus Resident Evil 2.
Are we talking the originals?
Yes, 96 versus 98. PlayStation originals, which is
I-
the higher Metacritic.
I'm gonna
gotta-
say probably RE2, right?
I gotta go with my favorite video game ever made, the original Resident Evil 2.
yeah, I think Resident Evil 2 is a better game.
Yeah.
What is it?
2. It's 2.
But it didn't score higher.
It didn't.
91 versus 89.
Oh, that's really close. Wow.
Really close.
Wow.
Overwatch versus Overwatch 2.
I think
Dude,
Overwatch 1
scored higher. Yeah.
Yeah. Overwatch has a 91. Overwatch 2 has a 79.
Dude, Overwatch 1 was so good when it came out.
Big gap.
Insane. That was magical.
Yeah, it was.
Metal Gear Solid versus Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, that's tough.
That is tough. I'm
gonna
actually going to say 2.
I'm gonna say 1.
I'm going to say 2.
It is 2.
Yeah. That shit was hyped.
94
That was
for
next
MGS.
level.
That is
Wow.
high.
Yeah. That presentation at the
MGS
time.
2, 96.
Yeah.
Biggest
dude.
troll of all time, dude. MGS2.
Biggest troll of all time. Biggest troll.
Who's writing? Why am I this guy?
Biggest troll, dude. Holy
Where's
shit.
Snake?
Holy shit.
God of War versus God of War
God of War
2.
2. God of War 2. God of War 2.
Yeah.
Goes down as one of the greatest
wait.
games ever made.
I'm gonna say God of War 1, even though I think 2's way better.
It is one.
Yeah.
What?
94 versus 93.
Oh. Can I get a review count, please? How many reviews, though? Because
I
if
don't
that
have that,
93
but-
has more reviews, technically,
Sure. Sure.
you
sure.
know?
Star Wars The Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed 1.
Force
Versus the
Unleashed
Force
1.
Unleashed
1.
Yes,
Force Unleashed 1.
Force Unleashed
2 is
1.
unfinished.
2 is garbage.
Yep.
Yeah. 73 for the first game, 61
Yeah.
for the second.
Yikes.
Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
2.
Two
Uncharted
versus
2.
Uncharted
It's
2.
Uncharted
It's
2.
It's 2.
Uncharted higher than you might guess.
No way.
88.
Yeah.
Dude,
Uncharted 1's fun.
Uncharted
Yeah.
1 at the time when that came out was sick.
Mm-hmm. So fun.
96
Oh
for
my
Uncharted 2.
Yeah, Uncharted
Yeah.
2 is insane.
Big jump. Big jump.
Big jump. Dude, 1 though. Where's that remake?
You don't need to remake it.
Blue Point, dude.
No, let them do something
Remake
else.
studio.
Brad,
Yes.
Dark Souls versus Dark Souls 2.
Oh,
That is
that's
so
so
tough.
funny. That's
I've-
really tough.
Because you have to assume, like, remember, dude, people didn't get it.
Yeah, that's
They
tough.
didn't get it.
Man, I'm gonna say Dark Souls 2 has a higher review score. Sadly.
I'll go with Brad because people didn't get it.
Yep.
Yep.
89 to 91. Pretty close.
Pretty
89
close.
for the first one.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah. People were learning about good video games.
They realized.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn versus Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't really know. I'm gonna say
Zero Dawn.
yeah.
That's tricky.
Yeah, that's really tricky. I'll just say Forbidden West. I really don't know.
It is The first game, 89 to 88.
Wow.
Oh wow, so close.
Super close. But I
Yeah.
think that's what you're saying here. But it's like
Where
it is
they
like
just take it for granted
it's the
going
sequel
in.
tax kind of thing.
It is a sequel tax.
Easily a better game.
It is a real thing. It is
Yeah.
a sequel tax. when they're that close to each other, like it's different than like Alan Wake to Alan Wake 2, obviously.
Right.
Because they're wildly different. They're a decade apart. Like, yeah. When it's a close sequel like that. But Uncharted is like kind of an outlier where it's like, yo, this is just a
it is
dramatic,
a huge step up.
huge step up.
Remember the jet ski?
Damn right.
I remember the one in
Grenade launcher? Hell yeah. Dude, that part on
crushing.
crushing is insane. My God.
The Last of Us, or The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, I think it's part 1 though. Fuck. If it is, it's gonna be very close. I think. I'm just gonna say part 1.
I'll say part 1.
Is this like Last of Us PS3?
Yeah,
Okay.
2013.
Okay.
I'm going to say part 1.
Yeah, I'll say part 1.
It is Part 1, 95 to 93.
Yeah, super close.
Crazy.
Huber,
God of War.
we already did God of
We
War.
did God of War.
1 and 2, but not
Oh, okay.
2018.
I think that's it for
Ragnarok.
No, we're doing Dead Space.
Ooh.
Oh,
Dead Space 2.
I feel like Dead Space 2 probably reviewed higher just because it was more action focused. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's tough though.
Dude, Dead
Dead
Space
Space 1 though.
was an event.
Yeah.
This one's hard. I'll say Dead Space 1.
Yeah, I'll do 2.
It's 2.
It's 2.
By a nose,
a
89 to 90.
Nice. 2 is so, oh my God, dude. 2 remake. I can't wait, dude. Holy shit. What are they going to do, man? Are they going to combine 3 in there? Are they going to cross that bridge when they come to it?
that bridge when they come to
Just do 2 next?
It'll be
Oh
hilarious
my
if they just
God.
ignore Dead Space 3.
I can
just
see them
make a
just
new
making.
game.
Yeah,
They've already kind of commented on it that they're going to dramatically change things.
different,
Yeah, but 2, dude. Oh my God.
Portal, or Portal 2.
Portal 2.
2.
Yeah, 90 to 95.
Yeah.
Big jump.
Yeah. Because Portal 1 feels like, a little mini game.
Yeah.
I
it's
still
small.
really...
Or the
I,
box.
I have a real good
yeah.
heart for the first Portal. Like, I feel like it's... it really stands alone really well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But,
It's a perfect thing.
yeah, with
It's legitimately a perfect thing. I
the
feel like.
co-op and the level editor and all the stuff they did
Yeah,
to
Portal
Portal 2.
2 is insane,
It's
yeah.
just like one of those things where it's like you just built it out. You know?
Dude, streaming Portal 2 with Damiani co-op. The best. The best.
And then last one, Red Dead Redemption
Red Dead 2.
versus Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead 2. Grace
Yeah, I'll
Hammerman.
say 2.
Yeah. Not by much, though. 95 to 97.
Wow.
Gabby, someone had the best comment in my chat last night. They said, Red Dead 2 is Huber's Roman Empire.
Nice. It's time for bets. This week's bet. No bet. We're at the end. End of the season. War Wars next week.
Oh.
We're shooting 2 more episodes right after this. So now it is time to see who won the 2023 season. Last week's bet. Wingspan's Oceania expansion.
Oceanic Flight 817? 815?
Why? Yeah, I don't know why. The Oceania expansion for Wingspan came out on Tuesday. In Wingspan, every card shows a point value marked by a feather. Last week, I asked what the total number would be if you add together all the feather values of every card shown in the expansion's launch trailer. Kyle was playing for the Garrulous Ducks. Brandon was playing for the Sleepy Grizzlies. Kyle bet 524. Brad bet 64. Brandon bet 88. Isla bet 55. And Gabby bet 40 for Dawn.
I don't
And then
think-
Huber, you bet 42.
I don't think Kyle understood the bet.
You don't think
bad.
Kyle understood the bet? Why is that?
Did he win?
Well,
Everyone
here's the
bet in
trailer.
the 40s and 50s. He bet 500, dude. Does he know
We're
something?
adding together every
Yeah.
one of those feather numbers that's in that trailer
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
for every card here.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And
He bet really high.
previous trailers,
He's
they're
gonna win,
very
isn't he?
thematic, didn't have a lot of cards in there. They're just
Yeah.
showing birds and stuff.
Kyle's winning this.
This one is just full on cards,
so many
row after row after cards, layers of rows on cards that I had to like peek between to like try to find the numbers, make sure I didn't miss any of them. I spotted 95 cards
Holy shit, Kyle wins.
throughout this trailer.
Kyle, dude.
The total point value of all those cards came out to 335
Kyle! You
points.
madman!
Yes, Kyle won this bet.
Kyle!
By far. Bringing the final scores for the 2023 season to Garrulous Ducks, 31. And Sleepy Grizzlies, 27. Let me tell you about
Wait,
Patreon.
Blood.
What's up?
Shout out to your betting this year, man. Seriously.
Sure.
Well done.
Thank you.
Always getting the high, always sneaking in. Some of the sneakiest, most calculated betting I have seen in a long time. You deserve a shout out. You carried your team, Bloodworth.
Kyle is in chat, by the way.
Kyle!
Nice.
Ban him.
God!
Ban him.
Like, everyone bet like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. He bets 500.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, they went
Kyle!
ham with the cards.
Yeah,
They went crazy. They went crazy.
Kyle had already seen the trailer.
Probably, dude. Keely scoop.
Seriously. Some unused Keeley trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be it.
Submission
Yup.
from Wingspan. I'm surprised Isla wasn't closer, considering she plays these.
She went for the meme.
Yeah, she did. Let me tell you about Patreon.com/EasyAllies. Patreon is the number one way to support us. We are supported by our fans, by our community, by the people that watch and listen to this show, and think that it's worth keeping on and keeping on. So if you get over there on Patreon, you can pitch in a few bucks to fund this show and the other things that we do. At $5 a month, you get this podcast 2 days early. You get it ad-free. You get bonus Love and Respect questions. You get to submit to Love and Respect, get those games and crazy milk Discord stories in there, all that fun stuff. And you get to participate in our Discord, where you can vote on top 10s, where you can share the memes, where you can share food pictures, where you can just, get some help and some advice and talk about video games with other people, all kinds of fun stuff in there. At $10, you can join our contributor tier to submit to things like the community showcase and streams that we're going to do and things like that. And we're going to be doing some things a little bit differently in the new year as we're changing things up. So keep an eye out for how those things will change, but there'll still be something happening there. And then $25 and up are our producers with various different levels. And at our platinum producer tier, you get a shout out on this podcast every week. On this month's shout outs, go to Jabawabs, Elthanis, Greg, the Dark Knight Kettering, Jesse Blue, and Raymond Wheeler III. Shout out. All right, last week I gave Kyle and Jones my win, and since Kyle won for the Ducks, I will get to promote any Easy Allies video I'd like to promote. I get a final word on anything I've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped in my head, and I get to sign off with my trademark. Sign off.
Great bet, Kyle. 10 out of 10. Unreal. We weren't even close. It's nuts.
I will promote the Tekken 8 preview that I got to do with Dawn. That was really freaking sick. It was intimidating because I've been in the fighting game scene very much the past few years. Haven't really got a lot of experience with Tekken, so
That's intimidating.
So it's like at first I was like, I don't think we're gonna come, and then one of the other guys was like, emails me, he's like, hey, I want you to come to this thing.
Nice.
You guys got to come. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Intimidating, dude.
Yeah. I want you guys to talk to the developers. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So like, I got Don. We got a camera kit to put together, and we got down there, and I got to play with Don. It was super fun. So yeah, good times. Check out that preview and that interview as well. Got to drop in the Discord
The best.
top 10 right before, which just happened
that's
right
awesome.
before. Just perfect timing, perfect luck.
So perfect.
So good. Final word. Props to diving into the milk Discord. It's so funny. It's so funny that you actually took the initiative to see what was going on in there. So thank you for that. The inside story we all needed. And we will see you before the next blood moon rises.
This game is not cool. Yeah.